WrestleMania Night 2 WrestleBuzz review, post-show review, I should say. What's going on, everybody? Solo Dolo tonight, unless we get a surprise appearance from Boots on the Ground, Gurge Brooms. Hopefully we will get a pop-up here. Man, what a show. I mean, I'm still, if you watched it, the ending is still with me here. So I'm just trying to take it all in, you know? But coming straight from the show, not from me, from watching the show to here, there's definitely a lot on my mind. But we got to break down the show. Overall, the whole weekend in a whole for me was awesome. I don't know. Night one I think stuck out a little more, but I mean, how could you look at the ending of night two and not say, "Damn," right? A lot of news going on outside of WrestleMania before the show night two took place. We'll get to later on. Possible sale of WWE. So stick around if you want to hear any opinions on that. But damn, Mania Night 2, Hollywood, 39. Brock versus Omos kicked it off. And I think it might have been Bad News Tom Canale from the Wrestling Journal podcast sent it over. May have sent me over a time of the match, which was less than 5 minutes. And I think if you go into Brock and Omos, you kind of assume that that's how it was going to be, less than 5 minutes. Some suplexes, an F5, and Brock makes quick work of the Nigerian giant. So, I mean, not a lot to take out from that match. I mean, what else did we expect? I didn't think we were going to get a Canadian destroyer or anything, but it is what it is. I'm not sure, man, this guy almost kind of set up here to not really get like a win. You're going against Brock, and if he did win, it would be a big deal. So Brock getting the win over Omos. And I mean, damn, what's next for Omos? What's next for Brock? Is Brock going to stick around for much longer? The sale, again, we'll bring up the sale of WWE a couple times throughout the show here, and where does that play in Brock's position going forward? So we'll see. But yeah, Brock almost opened the show. Could you say started off hot? I'm not really sure. If we're going to compare to nights, like between night one and night two, I think night one takes it with the opener there, but I guess it's all opinion, right? Match number 2. Shayna and Ronda win the women's showcase match. And listen, again, we're comparing, right? But last night's men's showcase match was just insane. And we didn't expect, I mean, how much could we get out of this match tonight? Shayna and Ronda, I did have them winning. And I think if you listen to the fan base, they weren't too thrilled with it. But going forward, it kind of seems like they want to make this tag team something, with some force behind them. Did Shayna get hurt? I don't know. She came into I kind of was in and out of that match. I came in late, and I saw Shayna come in the ring with no left shoe on. So maybe someone could fill me in on that, but I have no idea. We knew Ronda was hurt before the match. I think she fractured her elbow or something like that. Hence why she didn't really pop up in the match too much. And then she comes in, picks up the win with submitting Shotzi. So I don't know. Again, not much to take in from that match. So yeah, Ronda and Shayna win. More than likely, I would think, be going for the women's tag team championships against Lita and Becky, right? Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. Listen, it's WrestleMania weekend. We still have one more night technically left, right? With the Mania, the Raw after Mania. I'm pretty stoked for that. So we'll see what goes on there. Any questions you guys have that's here, I mean, send them through. I got no one to talk to, so make me talk. Or else I'm just going to run through these matches, right? I think we may have Gurge Brooms coming in. It looks like he's in the waiting room. I can't see his face. He's in and out. We'll see. Pat says a lot of injuries tonight. Yeah. A lot. one major one, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But do we know if Shayna was injured? I don't know. Would we count that as one? Well, I'm getting a text from Gergermans as we speak. He's trying to get in. We'll see. Yeah, and then Shane. We'll get into Shane O'Mac. Finn dealing with his injury during the match too. So, yeah, a lot of injuries tonight for sure. Men's triple threat IC title match, dude, right? Let's going into that match. I mean, we've seen what Gunther and Sheamus could do, and then add Drew into that. It's a recipe for, amazing. And I think if you're into that style of match, that's what we got. It was amazing, in my opinion. Sheamus is going for the ultimate Grand Slam champion. I think he's won every major title, every major match you could win, whether it was Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, King of the Ring, and then every title that existed in his time. I think a lot of people had him going into the match as winning the IC title, give him that moment because he's a Triple H guy. So I wouldn't have been opposed to it. I think you go into this match, you kind of look at who's in the match, and it's like I'd be okay with any one of them winning, but I was definitely happy with the outcome with Gunther retaining his IC title there. His 200 and whatever 94, I forget how many days, 94 days, 90 whatever it was. He's about $170 away from the record. I think it's like 464 from Honky Tonk Man. I think that's how you got to roll with this one. We want to talk about records here, right? It's a big one, the longest IC title holder ever. And the Honky Tonk Man, listen, no disrespect, but disrespect, dude. Like that's all he has on his belt. And look at that's an old record, man. Get that washed up and out of here. Give it to Gunther. Well deserved. And in due time, in a couple months, I think that's what we'll see. Patrick says the boys put on a show. They did. They fucking did. A lot of chops, hard hitting. Can we talk about Michael Cole too? God damn, this guy's been on a roll. I was watching WrestleMania on a Zoom call with Eric from Paper Champion, and he was kind of just praising how much he respects Cole. Like even as of recent, ever since kind of Vince left, I think it's kind of been a sentiment like how Cole's been like just a lot better on the mic. Doesn't sound too nervous. A lot of extra energy, and these past two nights have been like tenfold on what we've been seeing. So shout out to Cole. Made that match a hell of a lot better. Titus O'Neil on the call too. Again, I think this is a mixed bag about what we think about him, but I think are they grooming him to be the next commentator? Who knows? He had a lot of energy too. So, but man, what a match! And I think it's what we expected, right? Those three. What's next for Gunther? What's next for Sheamus? What's next for Drew? It's a lot of like after Mania, right? It's like unless it's the beginning of a feud, maybe it's like, what do you? All right, they can go rematch or whatever. Like we know what Ray and Dom are going to do at Backlash, right? But like, what? Pat says Corey was not feeling it. He wasn't. He was getting overshadowed for sure on the commentary call. But what's next for Gunther, dude? Who's up next? Who's going to go after that title? And who's going to lose? Let's be honest, right? It's kind of how we looked at Roman, except tonight. Like whoever's up next, if you're looking at the record now, you feel like he's on like a straight path to it. So I don't know. We'll see. Let me take a swig here. Cheers, boys. It's Sunday. No booze. Sorry, Patrick. All right. Bianca versus Asuka, Raw Women's title. And again, comparing to night one, you have to, right? It's kind of like they kind of give us that. Looking at what Rhea and Charlotte did last night, a lot of people's match of the weekend. Rightfully so. Charlotte versus Rhea was awesome. Man, it was good. I think just watching Bianca and Asuka, I'd have to maybe watch it back to give a little more in-depth review on it, but it definitely started off a little slow for me. And I think towards the end they definitely picked it up. And I mean, Bianca's awesome. Bianca wins. Bianca retains. Um, I think a lot of respect for the two major titles for the women, the 4 women involved. A lot of respect for all 4 coming out of this weekend for me. Not that I didn't have it already, but it just goes to show like how the top level of talent these girls have, man. And if you watch these matches and didn't think so coming out, I mean, you're wrong at this point, right? But we'll see. So Bianca retains. Asuka, man. Oh, let's go over this quick. Bianca's 3-0 at Mania in her career. She's beat Sasha, she's beaten Becky, and now she's beaten Asuka. What a fucking resume, dude, right? 3-0. Someone coined her Mrs. WrestleMania on Twitter. She could be on her way. She's 33, I think. She has time. Damn. And she's really good, Bianca, dude. The fans love her. The little kids love her, man. That entrance she had, it was awesome. I was all about it tonight. So shout out to Bianca. Shout out to Asuka too. I mean, she's always, she's top level. Maybe we get a little dark. I said this last night when we were talking about it. Maybe we get a little darker side of Asuka coming out of this match now. Like she was already a little dark now, but kind of like a baby face at the same time. Maybe we get like a full-fledged, like, heel Asuka, like dark Asuka. A little more than just a blue mist, maybe something else. Maybe someone with her. I don't know. Is it too late to like assign someone a manager or like a talking, someone that talks to them? I mean, she's kind of cemented her career here. I don't know. We'll see. Again, Raw after Mania, a lot of things can happen. So we'll see. But Bianca still champ. Jane Cena, as they call her. So again, who's next for these people? We'll have to see tomorrow night. What starts? You got to think she's going to be in the middle of the ring. Her next challenger comes out. Call up from NXT. Someone we haven't seen in a little bit. But I think kind of everyone's here, right? Every girl's here that unless they bring up someone from NXT. I don't think anyone has like a way to come back. I guess like Sasha or Naomi, but they're kind of doing their own thing in New Japan. I think Naomi was at the Ring of Honor show. So Roman just hopped off the press conference. That's why I've been peeking over. These are the weekend wars between WrestleBuzz and WWE. Let's see. Yeah, Reigns got Heyman deep into his career. Give Asuka someone. Hey, sure. Who though? That's the thing. Like, I give her fucking Heyman. I mean, if Reigns lost tonight and Heyman had nothing to do, Heyman with Asuka would be cool. I don't know. I'm thinking off the top of my head. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I just like at this point, like who and how, right? There's always a way. You could find a way, but who and how would you give? And Pat says Bliss for Asuka. Hey, let's see where she's at. Do we want to talk about No Bray this weekend? I don't know if I can, personally. On a personal level, I don't know if I can do that right now. The man's behind me. He's right here. It's my guy. I didn't see him this weekend. I saw him on a Twitter video where he said his WrestleMania was on Sunday. It was Sunday, but he wasn't there. So where are you, Bray? Come home, please. You're able to drive. Get in the fucking ring. Or someone book him. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, the next thing in between. Oh man, after the Bianca match, Miz and Snoop Dogg came out, right? What do you guys thoughts on that? I thought, before we get into the Shane stuff, I really thought the Miz and Snoop over the past 2 nights showed a lot of chemistry together, which is odd. Like you would have told me from like 2 days ago or this year, the Miz and Snoop Dogg are going to host WrestleMania and like kind of be good together. I would have laughed in your face. Wouldn't have thought. So last night we got Miz and the surprise from McAfee, and tonight was Shane O'Mac's back, or was back. Shit. You know what's funny though? a lot of stuff from Twitter here, but apparently last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was, Vince had told people close to him that Shane would never get a pop again or a reaction again in WWE as long as he was running it. And I think if you saw Shane come out tonight, got the reaction, got in the ring, and he thanked the crowd, he was kind of emotional. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I think that was kind of like showing, like, kind of responding to what Vince had said. And maybe Vince, I know a lot of people think he's running stuff, in which he might as well could be. Maybe he's not really to that extent that we think. So, but poor Shane, dude, leapfrog, blows his knee out 2 seconds into the match. Man. And on the fly, you hear the ref call it to Snoop Dogg, do a people's elbow. It was clear as day. She had to remind him again. I think Snoop Dogg got caught up in the moment. But he fucking rocked Miz like twice. Looked like a clean punch to the face, too. So, poor Shane blows out his knee on his return. I don't know if they have anything planned for him after Mania, but if they did, it ain't happening now, right? I don't mean to laugh, but, like, poor guy. Miz taking like a champ. Snoop Dogg coming in the clutch with the worst people's elbow of all time. And just like when he did in AEW, he did like a splash off the middle rope. It was just god awful. But I mean, God bless the man, Snoop Dogg, right? I think he gets a couple passes on a couple mistakes. He's done so good for the music industry. So man, Shane, cheers. Hope you get better soon. My excuse to take a sip. If Gurge doesn't come in tonight, this one's going to be a shorty here. We're running through the card. It honestly, like, as the night went on, it was like really going quick. It felt quick. And maybe because I came in late to the show, because I have children, and like, I don't know. I just felt like it went really quick tonight. I was like, look, I was talking with Eric. I'm like, this is the second to last match we're about to hop on right now. So Hell in the Cell, Edge versus Finn, co-main. A lot of speculation of if Edge was going to show up with Gangrel, Christian. I'm done, you know what, at this point, because like I was super stoked for something like that. I'm done reading fucking reports. I'm lying. I'll probably read them tomorrow, but like believing them is what I should say, because whoever it was, it had someone with notoriety had said Gangrel was getting flown out to LA by WWE. I didn't see Gangrel today. I didn't see no fucking vampire. So, but we did get Brood Edge on the entrance. They wrote it on the Titantron. If you didn't know, I thought that was kind of corny as an Edge guy. Like, you don't need to tell me it's Brood Edge. I see him coming from flames on the ramp, and I know it's Brood Edge. But damn, he looked good. That was a sick fucking costume, or a little headset he had on. It was different. It was cool. I liked it. And he had like the wings behind him or some shit. And then we got Demon Finn. Now, I love Demon Finn. I love the aesthetic of it and the look and the feel. I know why. I get why he brought that character back for this match, but it just didn't feel like. I guess you know what it was. It was because it was daylight out. That's why, and it was kind of brought me back to what was it, WrestleMania 31 with Bray and Taker, when these two dark characters that normally, you know, turn the lights off when they make an entrance, they came out in fucking broad daylight, which, I mean, it was in San Francisco, so it kind of made sense. But like, find a way to get these matches at nighttime somehow. I mean, I guess they did, like with this scenario with Edge and Finn, they kind of did the best they could by putting it to second to last, but it was still daylight out. And man, just the demon entrance would have been so much better in the dark, bro. Because like you kind of just saw everything from the get go, and I was like, all right. Yeah, Pat says agree with the daylight. Felt like it took something away. It did. I think it did, and like it kind of. I mean, I didn't ruin the match for me, but it just like when you think about the demon and you know what Edge could bring to an entrance. Even though Edge, I think, did okay with his style, but like even the Demon entrance, like it needs to be in dark, and it always needed to be in dark. So he tried. They had the smoke things and like whatever they like. You could see it. I mean, like, am I nitpicking? Probably. But you could see like when the camera panned away, like people running up to him and like handing him the smoke things. Like, I don't know. It just felt kind of to me. But the match itself was brutal. I think you throw a 40-something-year-old, and even, I mean, to be shockingly, Finn Balor's also 40. A couple 40-year-olds in the Hell in a Cell, and they get as brutal as they did. You got to give them respect, and I think it was definitely an entertaining match. There was that one hiccup when Edge threw the ladder at Finn and smacked him right in the fucking head, and they immediately like brought medical in. So I was like, oh shit. At first, like, I mean, without reading stuff and like hearing about what happened, it's like, oh, they're covering up the blood. And I see a lot of people online like bitching about it, but like this day and age, concussions are a real thing, and that's what I feel like was the reason why they kind of panned away and kind of got a medical. So I respect that. We'll talk about the sale in a few minutes, but like and I read this tweet online, it kind of made sense, made more sense of it to me. It was like, with a new sale happening potentially tomorrow, you have the people that are buying the company probably there to see how they handle things, and like this is a proper way. So you got to kind of keep it like straight while you're in front of them. I think if you ask Edge and Finn, they probably would have said, "Let me the fuck go." I think I also read something like that he got stapled. They quickly stapled him up and gave him like a numbing agent on his wound, on his head wound, on his cut. So who knows how bad it was? There was a lot of blood in the apron. You couldn't see it because of his face paint, but hopefully he's okay. But yeah, the match was good. It was brutal. They did a lot of cool spots. I liked when Edge tied up Finn in the corner of the cell with the kendo sticks. I thought it was pretty cool. I think we've seen that before, but like it was definitely interesting. The tables, the ladders, the chairs, the kendo sticks were all involved. I think there was more to do. Honestly, I think they had more planned. And that whole scenario with the head, the wound, and the ladder spot definitely kind of threw things off, because they Edge went under the ring to get a weapon, and he pulled out like a tool bag. You had to think they were going to go to like, the pliers and the mouth or the nose or whatever. Yeah, a bunch of blood in the ring. However, the makeup shielded from visibility. So who knows? Hope he's good. Edge gets the win. I had Finn winning. I thought it was gonna be like a trend this weekend of like the older guys put the younger guys over. It started off hot with Theory beating Cena, but then it kind of dulled down. My mind changed after Ray beat Dom. So I was kind of 50-50 on this going into it, even though I was kind of set on Finn. But Edge could be in his last year of his contract, and he might be done for good after this. It might be his last Mania. Who knows? We'll see what happens, man. The Judgment Day went 1 for 3. I predicted them to go on a clean sweep this weekend, so I was wrong on that. Rhea, I mean, rightfully came out as champion, but I thought Dom and maybe Finn would have won. But hey, it is what it is. Edge, Ray, moving on, beating the Judgment Day. So shout out to Edge. It's my guy, so I can't be mad about that. All right. And man, the main event, Roman Cody. I think Cody's entrance was one of the cooler things I've seen in a long time in pro wrestling. Well, the entrance itself, obviously, the pyro was cool, but then what he did after, going up to his wife, Brandy, his daughter, and then you saw Brody Jr. there, -1, which is cool. And then he had the fake tattoo on his neck. He was a Cody supporter. And he gave him his belt. Man, that was just a really cool sign. I mean, a cool image. You know what happened with Brody. So, like, I mean, and I think after everything happened, like, Brody's wife came out and said like Cody and Big E were Brody Jr.'s favorite wrestlers. So to see us have him be there for that was just awesome. So shout out to Cody for doing that. Roman's entrance, someone said it was like the longest entrance in Mania history, 7+ minutes. I mean, what do you expect? I think it was like an 80-yard ramp. The guy walks about, as slow as anyone, and he's got that swag to him. It had to be long. It's Roman. I honestly was watching it. It didn't seem like 7 minutes. It felt fucking. It was dope. I thought it was great. So the entrances alone were cool. You wish maybe Roman would change up his look once in a while, but I guess he could do whatever the fuck he wants. He's the tribal chief. So, before we get into the match, quick swig. Cheers. This is a Mania 36 cup. Got to rep it on Mania weekend. Roman, what's up? But I thought it was a good match, man. Slow in the beginning, like every big match has, big championship match has in WWE at least. And they picked it up real good. Roman coming out with Solo, I knew like obviously there was going to be shenanigans. Kind of turned into more than what I thought at one point. Solo got thrown out. We saw it, right? Usos came down. KO and Sammy came down. I think when that started happening, I was like, oh shit, what's going to happen here? I wasn't really sure. I actually wasn't really sure going into the match. I think when people had asked me or we were talking about it, I said I was actually 60-40 for Cody. And I still was like throughout the whole match. And he had some false finishes, kicking out of spears, kicking out of crossroads, Superman punches, the whole shebang. But towards the end, I mean, you saw both tag teams come in, they get cleared out. Then Solo had gotten kicked out, came back and did the thing, and Roman wins. And like, is this going to sound corny? But I had that like feel, like I had like that, like, was I really that shocked? But I kind of was in a way because I really thought they were going to give it to Cody, even though I was 60-40. Like I just in my heart, I was like, Cody's got to win, I think, right? But I had that weird feeling I haven't had in mad long, especially going into a main event. I think I've said this, like, maybe I was just talking to Eric about it, but like while we were watching, but like it's been a while since we got to a main event of WrestleMania. I don't know, maybe it hasn't been a while, but it felt like it's been a while since like the crowd was into it. They wanted one guy, even though they respect Roman, but they wanted Cody to win. And like even when Roman did win, and I think I said this like to people before, but like even if Roman does win, it's not going to be like, oh man, like pissed off like when Roman used to win, right? So I think it's cool that he came out champion. It's like everyone's like, oh shit, like what the fuck? And it's part of my language, but like that's where I was at. I was like, whoa, okay. And talk about what's next, dude. Like who can beat this guy? And now, speaking on that, like, did anyone else, or am I too hopeful, too wishful, and thinking like, the normal end the match, acknowledge me thing, and then if you smell, like, was going to hit out, but it didn't. They kind of just, Roman was walking away, talking to the camera, and they just popped to the fucking video package. I was like, is that it? I'm not mad about it, but I was like, damn. Your mind, when you watch wrestling for 30 fucking years, right? Your mind just is always like processing different scenarios on what should or could happen, and that like the Rock thing was a thing, right? So my mom was thinking it was going to happen. Now I'm a dummy for thinking that, I guess. Pat says, "Dude can't finish the story." Not yet. He's going to get there one day. I'm shocked that he didn't win. I really am. Not mad, just shocked. But then I was like, Triple H, like, he shouldn't have broke the fucking throne in AEW, son of a bitch. It's like kind of the sentiment, like when anyone comes from a different company, like when Sting came over, Triple H beat him at Mania. Everyone thought like that was the reason why, because like he was always anti-WWE guy. Pat says it's got to be The Rock that dethrones him at some point. As champion, I don't know. But then what does The Rock do? The guy can't even make WrestleMania in Hollywood. He's going to come around, beat Roman, and then defend the belt? It's the only thing that makes sense. I guess. Who's it? Is there any other guy? Do you maybe bring back Seth in the flow? I don't know. Someone's like, all right, besides The Rock, let's end that. Besides The Rock, is there anyone else on the active roster or around the wrestling universe that could or should beat Roman? That's the question, right? He's beat everyone in WWE. Swig. By myself, man. I get parched real quick. I should probably work on that. But is there anyone like he's beaten everyone? Now, if anyone's going to beat him, it'll be someone that he's beaten already. So, like, I wanted Cody. Don't say that to me. Pat says Bray with the praying hands. I wanted Cody because he hadn't faced him yet. I think he beat the Fiend for the title though initially, the Universal. So and it was a triple threat. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's what Bray's been festering for. I'm not going to think it though. Can't think it. This is what I do. I think things. They don't happen. I don't get mad. I just get upset. Pat says they can have a sick story with the bloodline and his family. Yeah, but who's in his family? Just Uncle Howdy right now. Where's everyone else? Dutch and Vincent went to Ring of Honor. Those are my guys. Eric Rowan? I don't know. There's a couple free agents out there. Maybe pick up someone that could at least. You can't bring in Jay White and have him beat Roman Reigns. That wouldn't make sense. Who knows? I don't know what they're going to do. I wish I had a partner with me right now to discuss this, but it's kind of like, it is what it is at this point. What's next for everyone coming out of Mania is the big question. I think every time you leave Mania, I think tomorrow's Raw should be a lot of fun. Hopefully a lot of surprises, or maybe just new feuds that were like fresh stuff. Let's say that. Let's not get our hopes up for Raw tomorrow. Let's not say I want to see debuts or returns. I want to see fresh things that make me want to watch next week. Because like you get the debut, you get the return. All right, it's a quick payoff, a quick reaction for that time period. But what does it mean for going forward? Give me some stuff that I want to watch for the rest of the year until SummerSlam. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me some for the next few months, not just like the one night. But throw those in there too. Sprinkle those in there. Maybe a Riddle, maybe a Randy Orton return. We'll see. And we'll get into it. First of all, Mania was awesome. The 2 nights is such a clutch thing. Pat asked, what was your match of the night and the weekend? Match of tonight, I'll give it to the Triple Threat IC title match. And match of the weekend, I had a few. All right, so outside of Mania, the Grayson Waller Johnny Gargano match from NXT was awesome. If you haven't watched that, check that out. Let's do tag team match main event from night 1. And then Rhea Charlotte was good too. I mean, there's a few. I really enjoyed the triple threat match from tonight though too. So if I had to go with one, I'm going to say KO and Sammy versus the Usos, just because of everything that involved, not just the match itself, like the story, the emotion. That's what pro wrestling is to me. That match. Yeah. So that was that. Yeah, Mania was good. It felt big this year. I don't know what's going to happen going forward with WWE if they're getting sold to Endeavor, and that might be as quick as tomorrow. So, I seeing what Endeavor went after they bought UFC. Not much changed as far as like the outside looking in. Who knows what happens internally, right? We can't predict that. but seeing who runs the UFC still, like Dana White still makes the decisions. I believe the article that got put out was that Nick Khan and Vince would definitely still be around. I'm assuming Triple H would still be around too. So I think that's the main goal. Is like we didn't want Saudi buying because they would go private, I believe. And if Endeavor buys, they stay public. They basically merge with the UFC, which is pretty damn cool. And things could happen there too. So I think someone said if Endeavor is really buying it, don't expect change. They're in it. It's more in it for monetary stuff to make it as big as they could possibly make it. So, hey, we'll see what happens. WrestleMania 39, huh? What a weekend. It was long. The week leading up to it was fun too. Raw After Mania is tomorrow. Won't be going live for that. Follow us on Instagram at WrestleBuzz. Post some stuff there. Twitter, WrestleBuzz with 3 Z's. You're here. If you're watching this, subscribe, like, comment, do all that fun stuff for YouTube. We're trying to grow here, so do that. Do us that favor. TikTok, WrestleBuzz. Facebook, WrestleBuzz. WrestleBuzz is everywhere. So just find us, follow it, make us. Let's grow this community, this brand, and let's make things happen. People, wrestling is at its peak, as far as I'm concerned, for the past 5 years. So 5-10 years. So let's all enjoy it together. And if you were here watching this, thank you. I was by myself, so it was tough. It wasn't tough. I took wrestling all day. But thanks for hanging out. We love you. I love you. Enjoy the week. Mania, Raw After Mania tomorrow. Everyone take care. See you guys later.